Welcome to the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Christina Aroche, and together we are walking the path of discovering your true self and the alignment with your soul. Through these conversations, you will experience a deeper level of connection with yourself and the universe, and most importantly, you will trust in your spiritual journey ahead. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Divine Connection Podcast. Today, I will be answering a question that was submitted by a listener and talking about my experience with the different angelic realms or the different angelic groups that exist. And so basically, this question was asking me about my experience with these different types of angels and also asking my thoughts on the 9 choirs of angels. And so I wanted to talk about this here. I love this question so much because I feel like there is just so much information that exists out there on the internet. And, you know, everyone has their own different experiences with this. And so I just want to, first of all, say that what I'm sharing in this episode today is coming from my own experience, my own perspective, my own opinions. And, you know, I really encourage you to just take what resonates, leave the rest, and just, you know, the best way that we can understand the angels is through our own relationship with them. And the other thing that I want to share is that throughout my whole journey, especially these last several years of working so closely with the angels and teaching people about them and supporting others in developing their own connection with the angels, this is something that has always come from my own channeling, from my heart, from my channel. It's not something that I've read in a book and then tried to apply this knowledge. This all comes from me and directly from source in my own perspective, in my own experience. So I just want to say that. And, you know, throughout this time, I never specifically was like seeking to connect with different types of angels or different realms. It kind of happened naturally on its own. And it kind of happened naturally where I felt that presence and I felt that being coming forward. And then, you know, bringing in an awareness and understanding to what information I was receiving and all that kind of stuff. So just to also say that this has been something that has naturally unfolded for me over time and not specifically something that I was like seeking to understand more of. It just kind of happened naturally on its own. And so the first thing I want to just address is the 9 choirs of angels, which is something that I've not really studied personally in the sense of like studied the texts and the books around them and all of that kind of stuff. I briefly, you know about them, have heard about them. I haven't connected with all of those types of angels. And there's some things that I disagree in a way regarding how, from what I've come across, how the 9 choirs of angels is described, which is, you know, basically talking about it as being a hierarchy of angels, and certain angels have certain places in the throne of God and other ones don't, and other ones kind of like, you know, in a way it's almost like they need permission and that sort of thing. And I don't really believe in the hierarchy in the traditional sense of the word, and that one is above the other. I simply believe in the fact that the angels hold different frequencies and the angels have different roles. So in that way, I agree with what is said there with, you know, the different roles of the angels. But my experience of working with them, and the only angels that I've really connected to that are, you know, aligned with what is said in the 9 choirs are the Archangels and the Seraphim angels. And so, you know, this is one of those things where I feel like, you know, whenever this was written about, it was written in a older time, and it was written in the context of religion, and it was written in, you know, just like with anything, and especially from that like more of like religious perspective, there is a bit of human there's a human based like fear and a human based control and that sort of thing that kind of is nuanced within those texts and within that information. So like I said, I haven't done a lot of research on the nine choirs of angels, but that's just what I have understood based on what I've come across. And so, like I said, I personally don't really subscribe to that. I more so believe that all of the angels are here to work with each other. They all, communicate with each other. Like they're all here to support us for the purposes of supporting our enlightenment, supporting our souls to fulfill the divine mission that we have come here to fulfill, to support our souls on our awakening path. And I also don't believe that there is this sense of like the angels are better than us or anything like that, right? Like they hold so much unconditional love and compassion for us and see us in the light and truth of who we are. And if we were to see ourselves in that same way, we would see that we all come from that same love of God. And so working with the angels is a way in which we can support ourselves to know God and to know ourselves and to know the energy of the divine. And, I do believe that angels are messengers of God and also that they are here as that direct link to help us with our healing, to support us with exploring our truth and exploring the depths of who we are. So in that way, I do see them as helpers, so to speak, right? They are the helpers of God. They help us and they kind of help to bridge the gap between us and the divine. And they're kind of like middleman, for lack of a better word, but in a way that's kind of what they do and how they support us. So when it comes to the different types of angels that I have personally worked with, connected with, talked about, and all of that, here are the main ones. Okay, so archangels, of course, of course, the archangels. Those are the main groups. That's the main group of angels that I've worked with since the beginning and that I teach about, that people know me for, that people find my videos on YouTube and learn more about the archangels specifically. I've done a lot of work with them. They come into everything that I do, all the different courses that I teach, the way that I support people in their connection. Archangels are definitely like that main one that I have been channeling for a long time. I've also mentioned Seraphim angels, so that's another group, and I'm going to share more about them in a second. So Seraphim is another group, and it's different. Like my experience with Seraphim angels is different than what is described in the 9 choirs of angels. Guardian angels are another group that I see as separate from all the other angelic realms. There's the Herschiel angels, which I have talked about on my YouTube channel, which is a newer realm of angelic beings. Newer in the sense that they are new to the earthly realm and that they have not really stepped forward before in this way, but that they've always existed. And so now they're coming in because our consciousness on the planet is rising. They are coming in now because it's kind of like, okay, the frequencies are starting to match. So it's time for the Herschiel angels to come in. And then the last one is a specific angel who has never really fit into a category, interestingly enough, and that is Angel Celeste. So she is another angel, and I've always been like, what kind of angel? She's not an archangel. She's not a Herschiel angel. She's not a seraphim. She's Angel Celeste, and that's just been her thing. And that's just who she is. And it's very interesting. And I shared a whole story about how she came forward for me, which was really cool. And that was the first time that an angel came through that was not an archangel that I met for the first time. And I shared that whole experience on my YouTube channel. If you search Angel Celeste on my channel, then you can hear more about that story. But essentially, she came through, and anytime that any of these different angelic realms have stepped forward for me, I have always tuned in with my own higher self with to make sure in that resonance, tuned in with the archangels to tune in with the resonance. So I do believe that this is information that I was meant to share through my own experience, through my own work. And I just know that since then, since I've connected people and talked about, the Herschiel angels and Angel Celeste, these are, less talked about angels. People have had their own experiences with them and have shared how those angels have stepped forward for them and how powerful it's been for them to work with them. So I do know that it's not just a fluke that I happen to connect with these beings. It is a huge part of it's a huge part of this mission, and it's a huge part of what people are meant to experience overall in this lifetime when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to their connection, when it comes to the development of our spiritual connection with the angels, with the divine. Okay. So with the archangels, as you probably know, and if not, this is perfect that this is, you're learning about this here, is that the archangels, they have various roles. They are what I call universal angels, meaning that they are here for everyone. They're not personal to us, meaning that anyone and everyone can call on Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, etc., and ask for support, ask for guidance, and they are there to support all of us. And they have different roles or different ways that they're more quote unquote specialized to help us with. They're not, it's not set in stone, like only this archangel can only work in this way. Their roles overlap with each other, but there's specific ones that are, more known for certain things. For example, Archangel Raphael, he is very much connected to the heart chakra, but he's not the only angel who will come in to support heart chakra healing. So that's just one example of that. And I talk more about the different roles on my YouTube channel and things like that. So I'm not going to go into each one here. You can find that information on YouTube. And I'm also going to share something at the end of this episode that's really special, that's going to support you with continuing to deepen your connection with the archangels and get to know them and all the things like that. But that's basically, with the archangels, I see them come through in different colors, different roles, and we can all call on them to support us. When it comes to Angel Celeste, she is an angel, again, a universal angel, so we can all call on her. She's all here. She's here for all of us. It's not like she's my personal angel. She's here for all of us. And she really focuses on supporting us with our life's path and what we have come here to do, and really to follow the path that is aligned to our greatest truth and potential in this lifetime. So basically, supporting us to fulfill our soul's mission is the way that I think of it. So Angel Celeste helps with that, and she often comes through with healing energy. She comes through with guidance. She also does come through sometimes with divine feminine work, but really she's here to support us, making sure that we're following the path that we're meant to follow. The next group of angels, the Seraphim angels, and like I said, my experience with them is different than what is traditionally described for Seraphim angels. From the very beginning, and I remember when my personal Seraphim angels came through for the first time, it was very clear that they were here to support me with my purpose as a healer and my work as a healer and what I've come to do, in the sense of bringing healing to myself and to others, more so others than myself, but both, and that's what they do. Like from then, and I think it was 2017 when I first met them. But from that moment forward, they always show up for healers. Like that's the way that I have always known them. That's the way that they've always shown up for other people, and they are personal angels. So with Seraphim, you get to meet your personal Seraphim angels. You get to meet them. You get to understand how they are here to support you specifically, and even more specifically in your mission and in your calling as a healer. Okay, so that is what they do. And so in the sense of this focus on healing and our healing abilities, they help to develop your healing abilities. They help to develop your voice for healing. They help to develop your mission. So whatever your mission is, whatever your focus is, how you show up in the world, they will support you with refining that and getting focused on it and clarity around it so that you can pursue that path. So those are all the different things. So all the different angles around the work of healing and bringing healing into the world, the Seraphim angels support us with that. and they are personal to you. You have your own Seraphim angels, and they only work with you. Another group of angels that are personal to you are guardian angels. And I know that there's a lot of information online where, people talk about archangels being guardian angels. And so, Archangel Raphael could be your guardian angel, but I do see them as distinct. I believe that Archangel Raphael can come in and have a similar role as a guardian angel for you, but he's not your guardian angel. Archangel Raphael is different. Your guardian angels are your guardian angels, and they're only here for you. And so they come in to support us in aligning with our path, with what we are here to do, to help us learn our lessons, to help us with our relationships, to help us go through, as we move through challenges or struggles. They are there. They're there by our side every step of the way. And yes, some of them have the traditional role of being our protector angel, and as a side note, we all have more than one guardian angel. We have 3, 4, 5 even guardian angels. And so one of which is always the protector role, but then the other guardian angels have different roles in supporting us. And so they're there as like our closest, allies, our closest, part of our spirit team that are with you, around you all the time, ever since you were born. Like, they have been with you your whole life, and they will continue to walk alongside you for the rest of your life. And so guardian angels are there personal to you. They have different roles. They will support you in different ways, but it really is like how you interact and move through life. That's how they are here to support you. And then lastly, the Herschiel angels. Like I said earlier, this is like a newer group of angels, not in the sense that they were newly formed, but just in the sense that they are new to us in our human consciousness and our human awareness, because they've never been here in the earthly realm as much as they have now. And they are here to continue to develop and support the evolution of our consciousness. So they're coming in to support, like, continuing to rise the frequency of our humanity and of our, like, supporting the spiritual awakening process that's happening on the earth, supporting us in, bringing in the new age that a lot of people talk about, the golden age, like this transition of how everything and how the world has been operating for the last several centuries and how everything's falling apart, and how we're ushering in a new era. And that's really what the Herschiel angels are here to do. They support this collective awakening. They're bringing in higher frequencies. They're bringing in these higher truths and sacred knowledge and a lot of things that we didn't necessarily have access to, or just weren't ready to understand, and weren't ready to know, and weren't ready to embody up until this point. So this is like a pat on the back for us and our ancestors for getting us to this point, that we have evolved so much in terms of our consciousness, that we are now ready to receive this energy and this frequency from the Herschiel angels. So the main one that I always talk about, and that always comes through, is the Herschiel angel Alexandra. That is always how I call her. I'm always like, Herschiel angel Alexandra. Like, that's the name. And she very often, like all the time, comes through. There are other Herschiel angels. I see them as like a collective, and I've met a few of them. I've talked a little bit about them on my YouTube channel, but Alexandra is the go-to angel. And I do also, again, have a video specifically about her. So if you want to connect with her and her energy, learn more about her, you can do so on my YouTube channel. But that is basically, the different groups that I have personally worked with, that I continue to work with, that I teach about, that I help people to connect with in their own way. And so if you want to learn more, like, aside from going to my YouTube channel, which is a great resource, I also have a blog that if you're more of a reader type of person, then go to the blog, just ChristinaRocha.com/blog, and you can learn more about the different angels that way. And also, if you go to my website, you can see the different ways that I work with people one-on-one, and through my self-study courses that help you to deepen your connection with the angels. And so aside from all of that, I'm really, really excited to share that a new tool that I have brought to life, that I have created, not on my own, with the help of many, many, many incredible people. But what I'm excited to announce to you is that I officially have the Archangel Oracle 42 card deck and guidebook that is available for you to purchase today. And I'm so excited to share this with you because it has been such a long time coming. I can't even tell you, like, the idea was planted to me years ago, and then it's taken a year or no, not two. I don't know. It's been a year to a year and a half of actually executing on it and putting it into place and bringing it out into the world. So I'm so proud of this deck. It is so beautiful. The artist, her name is Nina Catherine, did such an incredible job translating the energy of the archangels in this deck. And also, by the way, the other angel who's featured in here is Angel Celeste. So it's the Archangels and Angel Celeste in this deck. And so this deck includes cards for each of the specific angels. And then there's also other guidance and message cards in there that also involve sacred geometry. So you'll see the themes of sacred geometry and angelic energy throughout the whole deck. It is so beautiful. It is so powerful. And, I've played around with the deck already for myself. And literally my mind is blown of how accurate it is and how amazing. Like it's so funny because obviously I've played around with different oracle decks before, and there's certain ones that I love, and the reason is because they always resonate with me and I love the energy that comes from them. And so to bring something like this to life and to feel it be reflected back to me from my own creation is just amazing and so beautiful. And I'm so excited to share it with you. So, for those of you, whether you are an oracle card reader or you just simply love to have an oracle card deck to support you on your spiritual journey, and especially for those of you who want to deepen their connection to the archangels and learn more about them, like this is a really great way to do so. Not only are you going to get to know them by pulling the cards and just really getting a feel for them that way, but you're also going to begin to understand the types of messages that each of them bring through and their colors, and bring more awareness to you, regarding how they show up for you, how they connect with you, the guidance that they're here to bring to you. So for those of you who have been wanting to develop your abilities with being able to receive messages and guidance and these things, this is the deck for you. I'm so excited. You can find all of the details by going to my website, ChristinaRoche.com/The Archangel Oracle, all together, all one word, or just go to ChristinaRoche.com. You will see the link there on the homepage. Or if you want, I made it easier for you. You can find the link in the show notes below this episode. So however you find yourself there, however you make your way over there, come and grab a deck. I'm so proud of this. I'm so excited. And yeah, this has been a long time coming. So once you get your deck, once you order it, once you receive it, let me know. Post it either here beneath this episode, share it with me on my social media, all of that good stuff. I cannot wait to see you all using this and posting about it and all of the things. I'm celebrating you. And yeah, I'm just so excited. So that is all of the information for today. If you have any additional questions regarding the different angelic realms, if you have any questions about the deck, about anything when it comes to working with these different angels, please feel free to post that in the comments section. This is where I get my inspiration to, share this information with you and to develop these episodes for you, to tailor it to what you want to learn about, what you want to ask about. So feel free to ask your questions. I'm happy to answer them. And that's pretty much it. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I am sending you so much love and angel blessings, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to learn more about the Divine Connection podcast, you can go to christinaaroche.com/podcast and learn about how you can be featured on the show.